Okay, many of you were wondering last week when you got this note sheet on eclipses, where these notes were on the bottom. And this is where you're going to take your notes today. Again, you're going to be writing some words down and drawing some diagrams. So please make sure that if you need to, pause the video and do what you need to do to get all of the information on here. So for lots of decades, scientists tried to discover what led to the formation of the moon. How did it get here in the first place? And it wasn't solved ultimately until we sent people to the moon and they brought back moon rocks so we could actually test them. And that gave us the evidence to support our current understanding for how the moon formed. Okay? And here's the evidence that they found. First off, they found a low iron content in the moon rocks, which shows us when that impact happened, it sheared off the top layer of the Earth that became part of the moon, as well as what was left over from Theia. And there wasn't a lot of iron in that. And there isn't a lot of iron in the moon rocks. Second, we found that they have a similar makeup, the Earth and the moon, but they lack elements called volatiles that would be vaporized at high heat when there was an impact. The third thing here is that the rocks on the Earth are slightly older than the rocks on the moon, which means the Earth had to be here first. And last, the Earth's rate of spin has slowed and the moon's orbit has expanded, which would have happened if they formed from this impact. The moon was closer to the Earth and then has since moved away. And those two things are a byproduct of an after impact. So what does this whole process of the impact theory look like? Well, here we go. So the steps in the formation of the moon are as follows. Number one, when the Earth was still in a molten state, so this is billions of years ago, it was hit by an object that was half the size of the Earth that scientists have dubbed Theia. When this happened, it sprayed out this debris disk around the Earth, and then in as little as a year after that, that disk then condensed and formed into the moon. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how the moon formed. Make sure that you get all the information on your paper. You should have completed the lab by now. If you haven't, you're going to have to go back and do that. I took videos of the stations. You're going to look at those. There's one page from a book that you need to read to come up with your claim, 4 possible claims. You pick one, then you look at the information from the stations, and then you decide on the evidence which one is supported, which after watching this video, you already know. So you should have done the lab first. Anyway,